Thank you all for being here and all the witnesses. In 2000, the EDA granted the South Florida Regional Planning Councils the authority to operate a revolving loan fund to help create jobs and to strengthen the economic base of South Florida. And I look forward to hearing your testimony today, and I actually do know what you've been doing. So the EDA, as we all know, was established in 1965. At that time, Congress recognized that there were areas in our country that were experiencing chronic high unemployment and out migration, low per capita incomes, et cetera. So in addition, Congress also recognized that there were communities impacted by sudden and severe economic dislocations because of closing plants and natural disasters, for example. So the EDA was created to help spur jobs and growth in those economically distressed areas of the country in which federal funding could be a catalyst in attracting private sector investment, and that's key, attracting private sector investment. So today, unfortunately, economically distressed communities are still prevalent, and they continue to be there, and continuing strategic investment is particularly important today when you look at the economic climate that we're living in. So the EDA programs obviously is intended to provide a balanced approach in the use of federal dollars. These programs effectively leverage federal dollars to encourage investments by the private sector and to help local communities. Often, EDA funds help a local community fill in the gap needed for economic development projects become a reality, and without that money, a lot of the times those projects would not take place. For example, in fiscal year 2007, EDA investments under its Public Works Assistance Program, Revolving Loan Fund Program, and the construction and disaster recovery components of the Economic Adjustment Assistance Programs totaled $209 million, and were expected to create or retain 52,134 jobs, to be exact. In addition, the EDA investments that year created or retained American jobs at an average cost of $4,000 per job. And the EDA leveraged over $26 million in private sector capital investments for every leveraged over $26 in private sector capital investment for every taxpayer dollar that was invested. Now contrast those numbers that I just told you, that I just read, with the return on investment expected from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act that Congress recently passed. Taking the administration's best estimates, their own numbers, the $787 billion appropriated in the so-called stimulus bill will create or save 3 to 4 million jobs. That's a cost of nearly $200,000 per job, as opposed to $4,000, which is what we had talked about a little while ago. The EDA grants, on the other hand, maximize each federal dollar spent and create lasting investment in communities. They sparkle job growth and laying down the foundation for economic investment in distressed communities. EDA grants have assisted communities devastated by natural disasters, including, for example, the area of Homestead in South Florida, which I have the privilege and the honor of representing. Those grants facilitated private sector investment, and they helped to create or retain more than 700 jobs, and the results are there for everyone to see. In 2004, President Bush signed into law the Economic Development Administration Reauthorization Act of 2004, which reauthorized the EDA's economic development assistance programs through September of last year. Now, legislation to reauthorize these programs was not enacted last year, and the programs were extended through a continuing resolution, CR. In addition, $150 million was included for EDA in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. EDA has managed to do much with very, very little, with relatively little. As we move through these challenging times, it will be crucial, absolutely crucial, that EDA has the funding and authority it needs to help distressed communities in our nation. I hope that we'll be able to move forward on reauthorization, and I thank the chairwoman once again for this hearing. And I hope we can strengthen this important program and look forward to working with the chairwoman on this important issue. I thank the witnesses once again for coming here to speak to us, and I'm looking forward to this hearing. Thank you again, Madam Chairman.